Yeah, he wants to be cooler than everybody. That's his only chance, I guess, to wear a hat that's different.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the first Coaches Corner at the FAI World Cup 2015 in Teuge. Gary, is that correct? Teuge?
Very, very close. Teuge.
So, may I introduce Gary Smith and Joey Jones, our regulars in the Coaches Corner. And it is not really fair to say Coaches Corner in this case because you're both competing at the same time, right?
Yes, and loving it.
And loving it. Yeah, you're on hold until the end of time.
Yeah, until 8 o'clock tonight.
It's beautiful weather for, I don't know what, but...
Well, the weather hasn't held it back yet so far. We have 2 rounds completed in four-way, right?
No. 2 rounds have not been completed. We're about halfway through the second round. A couple of my teams have not completed round 2. So
you're coming back in the afternoon?
I will be staying with the Italian team Energy until the afternoon, and my Australian team Impulse, the young up-and-comers from Australia, finished round 2, and Formula finished round 2. We had 2 good jumps. We're pretty happy. Things are good here. I mean, it's pretty well put together. Interesting fact, yesterday we found out that we're 9 feet under sea level here, and as soon as you take a step on the ground, you believe it. I'm going to get used to wet feet for the next few days.
Gary, you live here.
Yeah, what a great place. The Dutch know how to build dikes and keep us alive here.
Is the island of Texel on higher grounds?
To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I think we're also under sea level, but not as deep as here, probably.
By the way, we are actually at lunch break here. Actually the line is gone now. There was a long line that was actually the only hold-up so far, the real hold-up. Hungry people trying to get it, but then on the other hand, the food is, I guess, have you had lunch yet?
We haven't eaten yet, no. Our priority is you, Kurt.
Thank you.
Yes.
But it's all homemade here as far as I hear, and made here, right here, and I guess Dutch specialties.
I haven't, this is the first meal here, but everything we've eaten here so far around has been, homemade, if you call it that, but fantastic.
Very good ceremonies food. Was excellent. I mean, opening ceremonies was good food, pretty short, but very entertaining. I really was very, very impressive with the opening ceremony, I got to say.
Great show.
I like the final opening of the FAI controller. The speech was about 10 seconds long, right?
Yeah. Exy's awesome. Woo, we love Exy. Great speech.
All right, let's get serious here. Schmitty, what's your situation? Joey gave us a quick overview already on his side.
Yeah, I'm helping, of course, working with Hayabusa in the four-way. We've done 2 rounds, and they have not been bad. We picked up a bust in the first round, so we scored 23, bust down to 22. So we scored 22. And then the second round, we have not been judged, but I'm pretty certain there's another bust in that one. But they attacked the jump, and that was the plan. Round 2 and 3 is attack jumps. We don't hold anything back, and we attack. And you can see it in the jumps, and there's little ditches here and there, not mentally, but grip planning. So, but that's where they are. With the Hayabusa, we have not trained as much as we wanted, and they're a little bit behind on the jump schedule. So, but we're attacking.
I was just going to ask, how many jumps have you guys done this year?
350.
350.
Not enough, but 350.
Yeah, and tunnel?
Enough tunnel.
Enough.
I don't have an exact record of things. The tunnel, super strong, ready for the tunnel meet, and they will go back into the tunnel after this meet. They go back into the indoor meets now. Until November, there's the next jumping camp. So we will not be 100% ready for World Air Games outdoor. It's not our goal.
World Indoor Championship and the Clash of Champions, that's
yes,
what you're training.
Yes, exactly. And it's got to do with military budgets, training time, picking the right meets. So
it's not really, well, it is kind of coincidence that we have that we actually have 2 Hayabusa coaches here, because Joey was working with the team at the beginnings,
exactly.
and Gary afterwards.
And Doug before that.
And Doug, another magic.
Yeah, the trifecta of magic coaches there. So it's great. It's great to see the guys doing so well.
Yeah.
They do so well, especially Bob.
Yeah, Bob again. If you look at the first 2 rounds, he's the star. I told them now that we've debriefed the day already, and we're out of there, and I'm super confident for him. Obviously, I try not to highlight and keep him a part of it, but I complimented him, and he's had 2 solid rounds. He hasn't made a mistake.
Right on.
Go Bob.
Way to go, Bob. Yeah.
Okay, what else caught your attention so far as of the teams? Did anything stand out for your observations?
Well, we got the Russians 1 point back from Hayabusa with a glitch, and then we've got the new French team, which I heard there hasn't been many videos seen of the new French guys.
No, well, that's going to be that we haven't really. It's hard for us to judge, but I think we're all looking forward to seeing the French teams, female, and open.
We need to see a couple more rounds,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know the French Open team, the VR4, they've had an injury and they had to replace somebody just recently, so they're under the gun. They're not trained as a four-way squad properly. Somebody broke a femur, I believe. This is all just hearsay, yeah. But so they've got a fill in right now, and so
Well, he's back. Charles
Is he back on the
Charles
team
is
now?
back in, but
Okay.
of course he injured himself in the early summer, and he was out, I think, for 2 months, where they trained a little bit with Mathieu. Not enough, but they trained with Mathieu when he was available, and so they, I think, also jumped numbers lower than they wanted. But that's a team that scored 20 on round 1, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And then of course the female landed, and they were very happy, but I have not seen their scores.
And after that, you've got Artemis, which is another Matu leading that team, and they're doing great with an 18, and then it drops off to 16,
where
I
you-
think.
where you
16.
got?
We got a 16. We lost 17 point on the timeline, that heartbreaker, but we're happy with that. We're hoping for 17, 18,
Yeah.
but the last jump was good for us too, so we're happy. We had 2 great jumps.
Alexander Quasho back with Black Cat.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see them, and apparently they're going through all the way to Chicago. The thing is with Russia is you never know how the lineups change. They've got so much talent, but at the end of the day, they need to train as one group, 8-way and 4-way.
They said they had 4 training jumps with this lineup now with Quasho.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the pity with the Russian groups. Like I said, there's talent there, and if you could keep them together into one lineup, they would put something together.
All right, guys. I'm sure you're hungry, and there's no line any longer. So
Let's get another day in the books and we can talk some more, huh?
yeah, maybe by the end of the day, things the first 8-way rounds will hopefully be completed, so we can re-meet again.
It'll be
in the
exciting
race.
to see the new French, or not the old French, but see how that 8-way goes. It's a fast jump, round 1. Yes, super fast. It's on the world record thing. I'm
what is
sure.
round
1-4-D, which is the donut flake, snowflake in out, and then Hope Diamond, which is quick. But from the Hope Diamond back to the
back into that.
donut is the longer move. But I'm sure the Knights are crying. They're not
The
here.
Knights are crying.
They're not here for sure.
And round 2 is fast, so it's an average enhancer in the beginning. It's a great start for 8-way.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy. your
Thanks,
lunch.
Kurt. Thanks,
Thank you,
Mitty.
Kurt. Thank you.
It has become very busy, not surprisingly, in the morning in this hangar, creeping hangar. The competition is in full swing now. Most of the teams have completed their first round in 4-way at least, and in VFS 4-way, in all 4-way events. And it's time to prepare the next rounds. So all the creepers are taken, and engineering and jump preparations are in full swing. The new French 4-way team that we have not seen in action yet at all this year so far, which will be one of the big surprises. They're getting ready. Brand new lineup with Laurence Hervé, who used to be with the French girls, world champion as an alternate in 2012 and in the active lineup in 2014, and then switched to the open class lineup. And then action all over the place. Manu Sarrazin is working with the French B team here at the moment. He is competing in 8-way again. One of the Russian teams, Dima Samakhoil, is watching them, observing, checking the engineering, and in the corner, hidden away here, Hayabusa, discussing the sequence and the performance with coach Gary Smith. Let's see what they have to say.
Unfortunately, there's a bust in them, but at the end of the day, we go. That's how for me, how I expected that. That's how we should be start out. And attack. This is the jump that again we need to be confident with the memory up front, and we just.
And there's Daddy Growls watching that, of course, as usual. He is the truest fan of his team and his sons, David and Andy. Daddy Growls, good morning.
Morning, good. How are you?
Thank you very much. How are you?
Very fine.
It would be a pretty relaxed competition for you this time, right?
Normally, yes. Because the airspeed isn't, there's no competition. The real competition is not here at airspeed. So for the guys, it's a regular competition. It will be intense, but we'll see. Normally, it will be no problem.
What do you think about the 8-way? Is it sad that are they sad that they cannot do the 8-way, the Thunderbirds?
Sad. They would enjoy the jumping because it's always 4 ways for the guys, so they decide to do some 8-way jumping. But yeah, rules are rules, and there's nothing to do about it. They have to see everything is all right, and then they can fix it.
But it would have been nice for them to do something different.
So they have trained some 50 jumps 8-way, and they feel ready. So that's
maybe next year. Yeah. Nice. Thanks. Now here they are back in 4-way action. And they're done. How's round 2, David?
How was round 2?
How is round 2? Yeah, what's
It looks on paper like it's a very good jump. It should be a good jump for Hayabusa.
What do you think about the draw in general?
I guess there was like 6 randoms out of the door, so in general it should be like pretty fast. As what I heard is, because I didn't like study the draw completely, but what I heard is that there was gonna be like a lot of B slots in the front, and not even one in the back except for round 10, I guess. So well, it doesn't matter how the draw is. I mean, Hayabusa should perform on any draw as good as they should. So I'm looking forward. I think the scores will be higher than average, I hope. So I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
All right, well, I don't want to hold you up, David. Thanks for a few words. Well, there is a viewing area actually set up here in the same hangar. We're still in the same hangar so the teams can also follow what's happening in the judging room. Judging of the 4-way teams has begun now. Started with VFS 4-way. Now the belly flying teams are under this judging scrutiny. Round 2 in progress.